What started out as another season full of hopes and dreams was destined to be all that and more. In 2025, Ryan Barr Racing hit the track with some new ideas. We all know racing ebbs and flows, but for RBR, a small family-run team out of Piqua, Ohio, they would finally reach the pinnacle. But it wouldn't come easy. As they continued to build off a dream night in Indiana, it was a nightmare that would end the season in that very same state. In 2026, Ryan Barr Racing is on a mission to capitalize on the highs of 2025 after rebuilding from the lows.
25, I'd say my biggest achievement was the win at Montpelier. But we had a bunch of small wins too that led up to that. So we had one that sticks out is our fourth place finish at Florence. And that was a really good race. Me and Scotty, we were both running on the top, and then Matt Westfall and Jesse Vermillion were in the top three on the bottom. So that was a really neat race for us. Definitely a confidence builder going in. I believe the next time was at Kokomo. So that was a big thing for us. We had two really good heat race runs. El Goro, which is a place that we struggle at when USAC's there. We transferred in the Let's Race 2, ran fourth, and then we had a really good run off Four Crown. So those are two other big ones for us. Kind of a high and low night at Millstream this past season at the quarter mile, when I had what looked to be a pretty promising night. An incident happened during qualifying that we didn't get to qualify. Had to come from dead last in the heat, and I think we ended up third. So once we got back up, I think we redrew eighth. And as I was passing for the lead coming out of 1 and 2, the leaders got together, got in front of me, and I was the only spin. So I had to go all the way back to the tail and race my way back up to fifth, I believe. So that was a good confidence builder because we knew we had some speed. And then the night before the Montpelier win at Lima, was racing for the lead the entire night. That was another big confidence booster. So, we had a lot of ups and downs, definitely through the highs. It helped build our notebook that we tried a bunch of new stuff this year that hopefully we can take into next year and build even further upon it.
This year we struggled on the features, but we were better than we were last year. Like Fort Crown, for instance, I'd made an adjustment for the feature to tighten him up, and he come in after he said, this thing's like a top fuel dragster, it's just blowing the tires off of it. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I had Kent Schmidt, who is Gunnar Sutzer's crew chief, walk down to me and said, what did you do different? He said, that car looked bad. And I told him what I did, and he explained to me what I did wrong. And it wasn't 5 seconds later, Scott Bennett walked over and asked me the same question. He's like, what did you do different? That car was heated. And I told him, and he told me the exact same thing, what I did wrong. So things like that I take away from the year, people in the grandstands don't understand. They're like, oh, you ran 23rd. Yeah, but I learned a major learning lesson, man. It was huge. So those are things I take away from this year. What we learned, what we gained. Our finishes were the best we've ever had in the sprint cars on a night-to-night basis, other than we had a few mechanical failures. We had some debris in the main pill, things like that, little things, nothing major.
I don't have to make that next turn. I have to make it to the checkered. And that was kind of my mindset coming off of 4 was hammer it, and you can't wring the guts out of it because then you're going nowhere. So I had to be smart enough to keep the car underneath me, but, trying to give it a little bit more oomph to get it past. And luckily it happened. The funny thing was I crossed the checkered and I didn't think I won. I thought Corbin still had it, and I missed it. So we both start racing each other into 1 and 2. And I kind of missed the bottom, and I think we both knew the race was over, and we were like, what do we do? And then we went down the backstretch, and that's when Aaron came over the radio again. He said the 21B to victory lane, and Then it was, full waterworks, and I'm punching the rock screen because I was so excited.
Ryan Barr, your pole sitter, a two-time starter with the USAC Gamesville Sprint Car National Championship, ended up in the semi-feature last year in this event. Best run, 2025 during the Justin Owen Memorial, the 16th place finish in feature event competition. Of course, Logan Seavey 1 year ago during the Fall Nationals went to victory lane. It was his 14th win with this series in 2024. Currently sitting at 6 victories on the season and 43 starts. Of course, 9 overall wins on the season. And, of course, picked up the win during Indiana Sprint Week.
So he's the most recent winner at this racetrack with this series. So Logan, see if you're going to roll from the outside of row number 1. However, during Car IQ Heat Race number 1, that inside line did get a better start.
Good and even at that NOS Energy Star Camp, but like you said, when they got to turns 1 and 2, Westerfeld led the majority of that, ended up slipping back to 5th. Gunnar Setzer in the 5. He will go from the inside of row number 2. 2 previous starts here. He was
the last 2 visits here for the Justin Owen Memorial as well as Indiana Sprint Week. He goes again from the outside of row number 3 as he was second quick in on the state roofing qualifying. Dustin Weber in the 9. 13th here during the Big 8 Memorial Cross Series back in September.